It may seem like Marvel can do no wrong, but that is not the case. Hey guys, Noah from WatchMojo here, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst decisions made by Marvel Studios.
Stark asked for a savior and settled for a slave.
I suppose we are both disappointments.
For this list, we'll be looking at the worst decisions made by Marvel's movie division, Marvel Studios. For the record, that means we'll be talking about the bad moves not only in Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, but in all Marvel movies. Number 10, Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine. X-Men Origins Wolverine is quite the mess in general, but arguably the biggest debacle was what the film did to Deadpool. The Merc with a Mouth is done few favors by his depiction.
I love this weapon more than any other thing in the whole wide world. You want to know why? No. It's memorable.
Although casting Ryan Reynolds was definitely the right call, as the actor's later Deadpool films have proven, that was just about the only thing they got right. The weird, spinny blade bullet deflecting was weird enough, but turning Wade Wilson into a mouthless super mutant with multiple powers just to pit him against Wolverine in the end was utterly baffling. Thankfully, we got their maximum effort in later films, but still.
Hey, it's me. Don't scratch. Just cleaning up the timelines.
Number 9, repeating the same hero's journey. The Marvel Cinematic Universe may have given us some great heroes over the years, but a lot of their journeys end up feeling rather similar. Stop us if you've heard this one before. A selfish yet lovable jerk learns the error of his ways and becomes a hero after learning to put others first. We love the MCU, but recycling the same story beats for different characters half a dozen times can leave them feeling a bit too much the same. Thankfully, the franchise does look to be headed in new directions.
How do I look? Fresh.
Number 8, overindulging in disastrous situations. While this is certainly something the movie industry is guilty of in general, Marvel didn't have to play into it either. Many of the MCU films show cities suffering large-scale destruction, although people are rarely seen being killed on screen. Nonetheless, it must be happening off-screen, and leaving these casualties out of sight, out of mind provides a pretty misleading and potentially desensitizing portrayal.
Hail Hydra.
We know that Marvel loves their fun and whimsy, but that doesn't mean they have to gloss over the consequences of such events, even if they're really just fictional.
No!
Number 7, Galactus Cloud. There's getting a character wrong, and then there's this.
He is here.
In Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, the eponymous heroes encounter the Silver Surfer, the Herald of Galactus, a cosmic entity who consumes planets. However, instead of being a humanoid character that the heroes can interact, reason with, or fight against, Galactus is a space cloud. By taking away the character's appearance and voice, Galactus was essentially no longer a character and more of a plot point, and one that looks more like something we'd use as a desktop background than a legitimate threat. Number 6, casting Topher Grace as Venom. Topher Grace was great on that 70s show, and we even think he might have made a decent Peter Parker or Spider-Man.
Red was right. I am a dumbass.
Of course, Tobey Maguire was already Spidey in the Wallcrawler's third Sam Raimi film, but that didn't stop Grace's casting as Eddie Brock/Venom.
It's Brock, sir. Edward Brock Jr. I work at the Daily Bugle.
And I'm dating your daughter.
Although we can see what they were going for by paralleling the villain with the hero, the issue is that Venom in the comics is big and threatening, while Grace is neither of those things.
Ooh, my spider sense is tingling. If you know what I'm talking about.
Thankfully, this issue was rectified the next time Marvel Studios had to cast the character.
What the hell are you?
I am Venom.
Number 5, firing James Gunn.
Where's Yondu?
Wanted to be here. Sends his love and told me to tell you that you got the best eyebrows in the business.
After a targeted internet campaign uncovered offensive jokes on James Gunn's Twitter, Disney and Marvel Studios fired James Gunn as director of the third Guardians of the Galaxy film. While no one disputes that the jokes were in poor taste, many fans and the cast and crew of the Guardians movies remained behind Gunn. Although Gunn has been rehired as director, the fact that doing so delayed production on the movie and caused Gunn to be hired in the meantime to direct DC's The Suicide Squad sequel certainly puts a dent in Marvel's plans.
I have never felt such
So unbelievably uncool.
Number 4, taking so long to have diverse leads. This entry is specific to the MCU. For how massive and successful the franchise is, it took the Marvel Cinematic Universe way too long to have a movie starring someone other than a white man.
Son of a bitch did it.
It wasn't until the MCU's 18th movie, Black Panther, that they featured a black lead, and until their 21st that they featured a lead female.
My name is Carol.
Both numbers are bigger than most franchises ever get, and it's not like Marvel doesn't have non-white or female characters, or that they don't buy movie tickets. We know that movie executives don't like messing with successful formulae, but Marvel was big enough that they could have tried new things earlier.
Great, another broken white boy for us to fix. This is going to be fun.
Number 3, not writing strong enough villains. The MCU has a few compelling villains, like Loki, Killmonger, and of course Thanos.
You should have gone for the head.
But too many of them are painfully generic. They're usually either dark mirrors of the heroes or else a generic conqueror who wants to rule because insert reason here. Or both. And Whiplash? Come on, Marvel, this isn't your A game. Conventional wisdom had it that a hero was only as good as their villain. Marvel has often managed to ignore this adage, but we'd rather they didn't continue to push their luck. One helpful suggestion, have them last for longer than one movie. Seemed to work well for Loki and Thanos.
You might want a guide. Do you have a bit of experience in that arena?
If you consider failure experience.
Number 2, losing Ant-Man director Edgar Wright. Marvel has lost several notable directors for their films, such as Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins, who was originally attached to Thor: The Dark World. Yet one of the most keenly felt was the loss of Edgar Wright from Ant-Man.
Which was mainly reds, and you know I don't love reds, man. You know, but there was a rosé that saved the day. It was delightful. And he tells me about this girl, Emily, that we used to kick it with. It was actually the first pair of boobs that I ever touched.
It's the wrong details. It has nothing to do with the story.
Wright, who's most famous for directing films like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, was attached to Ant-Man for many years.
Yarp. Sergeant Angel's been taken care of. Yarp.
However, before shooting began, Marvel decided to rewrite the script without the writer-director's input, driving Wright away. As much fun as Ant-Man is, many of Wright's fans, including Avengers director Joss Whedon, felt like Wright could have done an even better job.
Keep the suit. I'll be in touch.
No, thank you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, selling the rights to major characters. In the mid-90s, a bankrupt Marvel sold the film rights to their biggest properties, including Spider-Man, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four.
Hey.
Hey.
You okay?
Yeah.
In the long run, however, this just meant big success for other companies instead. Granted, if they hadn't done so, we wouldn't have the X-Men and Spider-Man movies.
Pizza time.
Then again, who's to say Marvel wouldn't have made even better films? Then again, we could also have avoided all those Fantastic Four films. Plus, Marvel took way too long to get the rights back to these properties, only getting control of X-Men and Fantastic Four again in 2019.
It's fantastic.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, Ant-Man is one of my personal favorite MCU movies. I know, it's kind of a hot take, but can you imagine what an Edgar Wright directed version of Ant-Man would have looked like? Well, a man can dream. Anyways, what do you guys think? What do you think is the worst decision made by Marvel Studios? Let us know in the comments, be sure to like and subscribe to Watch Mojo, and hey, check out more great content right here.